I am doing the intuitive patterns for the month of July 2023. Thank you for joining me. My name is Suzanne Wagner, and I do a monthly and daily intuitive patterns, blogs, numerology, astrology. This one, we're going to do different sets of cards. So I use 7 decks of cards, and I pull different cards to give me the patterns for this particular month. And we're doing intuitive patterns for the month of July 2023. In the Aleister Crowley Tarot, we've got Strength, Art, and the Ace of Discs. In the Words of Truth, we have Health, Inappropriate Place, and Sensitivity. In the Mayan Oracle, we have Ahau, Kawak, Universal Movement. The Medicine cards, Buffalo, Turkey, and the Blank Shield. Ancient Egyptian Tarot, the Princess of Discs, the Hanged Man, and the Six of Wands. The Osho Zen Tarot, Silence, Going with the Flow, Moment to Moment. And in the Healing Earth Tarot, the Nine of Shields, the Seven of Shields, and the Grandmother of Wands. So, what does all this mean? The cards this month reflect an ongoing realization that I have been experiencing for a while now. Many years ago, I was being initiated into the Mayan archetypes, and it was explained that in 2011, 2012, and 2013, the Mayan, Tibetan, and the Hopi calendars were going through a major shift, and something that the great seers of all three traditions noticed over 2,000 years ago. From the Mayan perspective, we would shift out of the time of Kawak and into the expansive qualities and vibrations of unconditional love that Ahau held for humanity to embrace and move toward. While those years were enormously transformative on many levels, we clearly did not yet figure out how to move past the hard refining fires of purification that Kawak offered. Kawak was the path to let go of our destructive nature and find our way back to wholeness, unconditional love, and a non-dual consciousness that Ahau offered. However, it did not seem to work that way. It seemed to me that massive numbers of humanity seemed to enjoy the chaos and the thunderous cataclysms of Kawak. Those aggressive souls seemed intent to drag us away from the doorways of a peaceful world and back into the human realms of attachment and fear. This month's card spread clearly shows that this battle continues to wage. There are those souls that thrive in starting fires and then sitting back to enjoy watching things burn to the ground. They seem to want to let them burn out of control, taking all in their path into the smoky and confusing patterns, once again proving humanity's inhumanity to man. We live in a time where not only are many games being played simultaneously, but there are games on top of each other. Those that cannot see the entire spread of this complex game become the pawns in the game and are frequently cast away as collateral damage with complete disregard to the suffering that those players are experiencing. We live in a world of arsonists. Some like to inflame with words, others with actions, and even more with fear. This month, that reality comes home to rest. We see it as never before. We are being asked to no longer be numb to this fire that wants to burn down what is good in this world. This month, each of us will be required to live and choose moment to moment, because the force of the flow that is catapulting us into the great unknown and a new reality has no intention of giving us the opportunity to understand all the facts before we are going to be required to leap. We will be asked to find the center and the places of silence that offer up something that will help us recognize that a power shift towards universal movement is now required, regardless of our small individual wants and needs. Many have suffered because of the iron fists of the powerful that are grasping to have everything. That is why we must protect our own health and well-being. That is why we must find the places that we belong and that can give us rest. That is why so many are overly sensitive to what is happening and feeling confused and overwhelmed by the massive amounts of situations that seem beyond our control. This month is a type of awakening. For some, they will see the bigger game and know how to not be a pawn in that game. For others, They will be at the mercy of the storms and fires that threaten to destabilize societies and break the backs of governments. It is essential that we learn to see past the illusions and notice that those things that used to define our safety and security have been torn down intentionally. Now it will be up to us to rebuild and renovate. To do that, we will have to work hard to eradicate the arsonists from the positions of power. Much will have to change. Much will be required of us to find the new ways and how to implement better laws that protect personal freedoms. It will be clear this month that there is a long way to go, and it will take decades, but it will be worth it. Out of terrible times of destruction, humanity does manage to rise up and improve. That is, until the generation that witnessed such atrocities fades into the past far enough that those that come after them have become lazy, as they have forgotten the terrible sacrifices that their ancestors offered up. Know that having a peaceful heart matters as we learn to change and grow. Know that such times shape our legacy for the future. The fires of Kawak will turn soft metal into the weapon of truth, one that will not break under the strain of external forces, one that will stand and fight for truth as long as we can. Thanks, everyone.